welcome back to another pregnancy update. I'm pretty sure I missed a week or two just because of life, but we are starting back strong. I feel great and I'm excited to be in the final trimester. We will go ahead and get into the baby facts. So baby this week is starting to open his eyes, although his vision is still blurry and will be for a while. They do start opening their eyes. Baby's brain this week per the app says that his brain is starting to get wrinkly, which is supposed to be so that it can hold more brain tissue and, you know, grow the beautiful brain that will be his. And lastly, it's called like Langu, I'm totally butchering it, but the fuzzy like hair that is all over a baby is starting to disappear because they are starting to be able to regulate their own body temperature. And then lastly, baby's immune system is also starting to strengthen and develop, so when he is born, he will be ready to go. But yeah, without further ado, we will go ahead and get into it like I normally do. This is gonna cover 29 weeks. So all the way from last week when I hit 29 weeks to today when I hit 30 weeks. So if you are interested in seeing how my weeks are going, then stay tuned. So since my last update, I have made it to the doctors again. So for total weight gain, I'm up to 20 pounds. I started this pregnancy at 132 and I am up to 152 now. So roughly 20 pounds. I don't know what we'll hit by the end of this pregnancy. As a reminder, this is my second pregnancy and I can't remember for the life of me how much I gained with my first. So we're up to 20 pounds and stay tuned for the end of pregnancy when I give you my total number, but yeah, 20 pounds. Maternity clothes, I haven't bought anything new. I feel like now that we're in the third trimester, I'm kind of just like pushing through with what I have, because why buy stuff now? It is finally getting warm here in San Diego and it's been like high 70s to like 80 daily, so I'm officially wearing shorts again. I know it took me a little bit to get acclimated after leaving the island life and living in Guam, but San Diego's officially warm, so I'm wearing a pair of maternity shorts. I think these are the ones I showed you guys in my first trimester that I bought, and they fit really good. And then I've still been wearing just like normal t-shirts. I can get away with like my pre-pregnancy t-shirts still, so why not? But yeah, living in shorts these days, or I'm wearing my black leggings that I've been showing you guys for weeks. So we are in maternity clothes. Stretch marks, still no stretch marks. I've still been religiously using the cocoa butter cream, the kit that I showed you weeks and weeks ago, and I've been linking it in the description box if you are interested in snagging it for yourself. I don't get any commission or anything, it's just there for reference for you guys. But I've been using that religiously and I don't have any stretch marks as of yet. I didn't get any with my first pregnancy either, so let's keep with the trend, but we're doing all that we can to prevent them. I also use the same cocoa butter on my breasts because one of the biggest things that happened with my first pregnancy with breastfeeding is we did the golden hour, and when he latched, he must have latched wrong, or I just wasn't moisturized enough, and I ended up with a cracked nipple that took forever to heal, and it made breastfeeding kind of a struggle in the beginning of our journey and a bit to heal. So I'm trying to make sure this time around that like everything is moisturized so that hopefully we can prevent that this time around. We'll see. But yeah, cocoa butter, I've been using like the thick belly balm and then the oil right after I shower, and that has been doing the trick. Sleeping, so I'm still sleeping really good. I don't think I've mentioned this actually in any of my updates, forgive me if I have, but one thing I didn't buy this time around that I did with my first is the pregnancy pillow. And with the first, like I bought it because everybody influenced me to, and it took up a lot of space. We only have a queen size bed, so like if I had the giant pregnancy pillow, like Rowdy barely had any space, which was fine on my part, but like I felt bad for him. So this time around, like I decided not to get one, and I figured if I did end up needing it, I'd buy it later, or I would buy like the smaller like pregnancy pillow. You guys have probably seen them. They're just like curved and just like a small little pillow that goes underneath your bump instead of having like the massive pillow. but I honestly haven't felt like I needed it this time around. Maybe it's just because I am built smaller. I'm tall, I'm 5'10", but I carry very small in my pregnancies. Like if I'm not wearing a tight fitted shirt, you can't tell that I'm pregnant, or I look like I'm at the start of my journey and I'm literally 30 weeks. But I've been sleeping great. I haven't felt like I needed it. I do have like 3 pillows on my side of the bed, so sometimes I will stick one like between my legs, and then I like the way I curl up. But I've been sleeping great, haven't felt like I needed it. So just wanted to put that out there, that like it's not something you necessarily need. If you feel like you want it and need it, then buy it, but don't always be influenced by everything that you see on a list that says that you need it. But other than that, yeah, sleeping good. I haven't been having to really get up in the night to go to the bathroom, maybe like once, maybe twice a week, but it's not like consistently every night, so getting great sleep. Best moment this week was going to the doctors again and getting to hear baby's heartbeat and just confirming that he's still doing good. I mean, I know that he's doing good because he moves like crazy, but it always is just nice to go to the doctors and get confirmation and just know that like this pregnancy is chugging along, and that he's gonna be here in like a little over 2 months, which blows my mind. But yeah, that was probably the best moment this week, is always just getting to go in for a doctor's appointment. Missing anything? Really the only thing that I'm missing is just like kind of my pre-pregnancy body and like my energy levels pre-pregnancy, because I feel like I'm starting to get to that point in my pregnancy where like everything makes me tired and I'm out of breath. Like just making the bed in the morning, I feel like I have to sit down after, or like doing the dishes, I'm like winded after. And like my stamina, I miss my stamina of just being able to like go and get everything done, because I feel like everything these days takes me 10 times longer than it normally would. So that would be what I'm missing the most. But I also am at that point in pregnancy where like I'm really soaking it up and enjoying it, because I have the cute little bump and I have like him moving around, and these are like the fun parts of pregnancy. So yeah, I'm missing my stamina. I'm excited to have that back, but I know once he comes, it's gonna be replaced with like the tiredness and newborn exhaustion. So I'm also like trying not to take that for granted. So it's a balance, y'all. Movement, so much movement. He's a wiggle worm. Like I said, I still see him do the wave across my stomach, and sometimes he pushes out really hard and into my back. I know, like I think I mentioned in my last pregnancy update, unless it was one of the ones where I missed, that like he was giving me sciatica pain down my leg. I haven't had that since, but that was something from like his positioning, and like back pain, and also feel him on my bladder now from his movement. It'll be like almost like someone just like went and grabbed my bladder and I have to go immediately. Like he just wiggle, and the way that he's positioning himself, I'll be interested to see here in a few weeks like how he's positioned, if he's going to be head down or not, because with Nathan, my firstborn, he was breached until up until the point we almost delivered. We finally like were about to schedule the ECV to have him turned, and then he flipped on his own doing spinning babies and like me upside down on an ironing board. So I'd be interested to see how he's positioned, because half the time it feels like something is pushing out over here and something is like down here. So he's clearly like at an angle, so who knows. But yeah, he's moving like crazy. I'm not worried about that at all. Anything making me sick or queasy? You guys, I think this is the first week in all of my pregnancy that my toddler's diapers has not made me sick anymore. Obviously changing poopy diapers is not fun, but I don't feel like I'm like dying, heaving over, gagging when I change his diapers anymore. I really didn't know if that was something I was going to get over in this pregnancy, but it was replaced with one other thing that did make me sick or queasy, and I vomited for the first time. So I was making chicken wings in the crock pot. We have a lovely neighbor who works at one of the churches, and they do donations to military families on like a monthly basis. So occasionally she will deliver us like free groceries to our door. It'll be like a giant pack of like chicken or fish, ground beef and sausage and things like that. So I had chicken wings to use up, and normally that's not something I would buy, but it was free and I'm not gonna turn down a free meal. So I was doing buffalo wings in the crock pot. And part of this Pinterest recipe, I had never made this before, was cooking the chicken for 6 hours by itself before you put in like the ranch and the buffalo sauce and all of that. And you guys, the smell, I can't get it out of my brain. It's drilled into there, but the smell of the raw, like plain chicken, disgusting. I couldn't even walk into my house. And I don't know about y'all, but like, you know when you cook in the crock pot, the smell like permeates the whole house, and oh, it's so gross. So when it was done cooking at the 6 hour mark, you were supposed to take the chicken out to drain the chicken juices, which just thinking about it, like, I don't know why the term grosses me out right now, but you have to take the chicken out, drain the chicken juices, and then put in like the sauces and all of the seasonings and stuff. And I thought I was gonna be able to just like cover my nose. I had like perfume on, or I sprayed like Scentsy all over the kitchen. No, I ended up vomiting. Thankfully, like my kitchen sink was empty and like dishes were done, but I vomited into the sink, couldn't stop myself, like the contents of my stomach, because the smell was just horrendous. Now, I still ended up being able to eat the chicken when it was done. I don't know how. It was, like I said, it was just the smell of the plain chicken cooking. So there's that. That was an aversion. With Nathan, I couldn't do chicken my whole pregnancy. Chicken was a major aversion that I had, and this pregnancy I haven't had any like major aversions, but yeah, that was that. So that's what made me sick this week, y'all. Gender guess, no guessing on gender. We are having a boy, and I'm finally getting into that nesting stage. I am filming a nursery, like put together update with y'all. The boys are gonna be sharing a room, but I finally started putting things on the wall. I built the crib and a bookcase and a bunch of other stuff, so I am finally in that stage. But yeah, we are expecting a boy again. We do have his name, but I haven't shared it on the channel. With Nathan, we did wait until we delivered to share it. With baby number 2, we have shared with those close to us and like family and whatnot, but I think we're gonna wait to like publicly share it until he comes. So that's the plan as of right now. It could change, but yeah, we're having a boy. Labor signs, so no labor signs per se, but I definitely think I'm having some Braxton Hicks this time around, and they started probably in like the last week to week and a half. With Nathan, my firstborn son, I never had any sort of Braxton Hicks or cramping, like until literally I was in labor. Like he moved a lot, but I didn't have any cramps. This time around, I'm definitely cramping with this baby, and I know that they're Braxton Hicks because I've heard like the difference between like regular cramps. Your stomach is supposed to be squishy, where like with Braxton Hicks, it gets very hard. They're not consistently every single day, but I do have cramping, which is ironic because when I went to my doctor's appointment, they asked if I was having like any discharge or cramping or anything like that, and I wasn't having any, but literally like the day or two after I went to the doctor's, that started. So I will bring it up at my next doctor's appointment, but yeah, we are having what I think are Braxton Hicks. So I have a feeling that this baby is going to come earlier. Nate was born on his due date, and like to a T on time. This time around, I don't know, I have a feeling that like he might come early, and that's kind of like stressing me out a little bit. I think that's what's coming, where like the nesting is coming from and push to get things done, but we'll see, y'all. So symptoms, I've already covered some of them in this video here, but the first one was the cramping, which I just talked about. Like I said, it's not consistently every single day, but it does come and go. I'm also still having the heartburn. I'm actually having a little bit right now, and I shouldn't call it heartburn, I should call it reflux, because my chest doesn't burn. It's just like the burning up my throat, and I go through my daily dose of TUMS. It hasn't made me puke like it did in my first pregnancy, but it is still there. I feel like it's also not as bad as it was in my first pregnancy, but we still have a few weeks to go for it to ramp up. It comes and goes, and TUMS kind of is keeping it at bay for now, but it's just something that I have to live with. Also, I noted that my iron is making me sick, so one update on my iron levels when I went to the doctors. If you guys have been following along, I've been having a iron deficiency this pregnancy, where they prescribed me an iron supplement, and then they also prescribed me vitamin C to take with it, because vitamin C ups like your chances of your body absorbing the iron. And when I did my blood work to check my levels again, I was still really low. My levels were at an 11, and I guess they don't really start worrying until you drop below like a 10 or below. So we're really close to that, y'all. Basically, they asked me if I'm getting enough iron in my diet, and I've been really trying to focus on that now, because that is the only other way for me to obtain iron. I'm already on a supplement. So basically she said, like, try to get it in your diet more, and just like make sure that you're taking your pills, taking them on an empty stomach, the whole shebang. So I've been like trying to eat more steak and more like chicken and like ligaments or whatever, like beans and stuff like that that have iron. So I'm trying to up my iron in any possible form, or being like more proactive and aware of what I'm eating. And if by chance it doesn't go up, we're gonna redo my blood work here in a few weeks. And if it doesn't go up, I am going to have to get an iron transfusion. That's something she said that I would do before I deliver, and it's just like, I don't know a lot about it yet. I need to ask more questions, but that is something that could happen down the pipeline. So I'm trying to avoid that, because that's really hard. It's easy to take my son to my appointments with me, but once I get into like stuff that takes long like that, or I have to be hooked up to something, I have to figure out childcare arrangements, and being a military family, it's really hard to do that when my husband is not always here. So I'm really hoping to avoid that, and yeah, we'll see. But where I was going with that was, my iron pills are making me a little bit sick. I guess I should have mentioned that with the sick and queasiness, but I take them every other day on an empty stomach first thing in the morning, and sometimes they just make me feel like ugh, and I feel like I dry heave a little bit in bed. Normally, like by the time I'm up, it's faded, or by the time I get food in me, it's faded, but it does kind of upset my stomach a little bit. I also, I noted this earlier, but it feels like he's always on my bladder. It feels like he squeezes it, and I feel like I immediately have to go to the bathroom when it happens. And then it's also frustrating because I'll go to the bathroom and only like 2 or 3 drops will come out, and I know I have to pee more, or maybe I don't, but it's just the way that he's positioned on my bladder makes me feel like I need to pee more. So we're at that stage of pregnancy where we're always running to the restroom. And then lastly, I noted that I'm starting to get a little bit of a waddle. The bump is bumping, and I feel like some days I'm waddling a little bit more. Maybe it's just the way he's positioned, but yeah, so that is all the symptoms that I had at 29 weeks. Belly button in or out? Belly button is still in, but it's almost out. We are at the point where like we're bumping so much that like my belly button is like half in, half out. It's not completely out, but it's definitely like almost there. So yeah, we are nearing the end. Wedding rings on or off? Wedding rings are still on. Still no finger swelling, no ankle swelling or feet swelling or anything like that. I have not been like monitored for preeclampsia whatsoever, and I wasn't in my first pregnancy either. Like I say weekly, I wore my wedding rings all the way through delivery, so the plan is to do the same thing this time around, and hopefully nothing changes and I don't end up with any swelling or changes to my health. So yep, wedding rings are still on. Happy or moody most of the time? I am still like 99.9% of the time happy. There are the few moments where I do feel like a mood shift, but for the most part I'm happy. A lot of it has to do with just like the feelings of being loneliness, and I did share this in a vlog that's either coming or it might already be up, of just like being a military spouse. My husband's constantly in and out. I've been dealing with some family stuff recently, and it's just hard to deal with that stuff alone, and that can make me a little bit sad or a little bit moody. But overall I am faring well, and I feel like I'm being able to regulate my emotions, so I'm gonna stick with happy. What am I looking forward to? So I'm looking forward to most is just finishing prepping for this baby. Like I said, I have made major progress on the boys' room. Obviously it doesn't really matter because he's not going to be in there right away, but it really matters in my mind. And then like prepping our room and just like getting everything that we need for baby and feeling like I'm ready and that he can come at any minute, getting the hospital bags packed and like everything, the whole 9 yards. So that's what I'm looking forward to, is just feeling like done and that this baby could come at any time and I don't have to worry about it. My mother-in-law recently booked her plane ticket, so like we know that she's coming, and she's coming a week early in the event that baby comes. And I'm starting to make plans, like backup of like who would take care of Nathan, God forbid that she doesn't make it, and excuse me, how I'm getting to the hospital and all of that. But I'm excited and looking forward to feeling good and complete. All right, the 30-week belly shot for you guys. Like I said, I'm wearing a normal t-shirt. It is getting a little bit short. I could probably get away with more pregnancy shirts, but it works. These are the Levi's shorts that I talked about. They are nice length, especially me being a tall girl. But here is the bump with it up. We're getting big. Still very, very round. Sorry, I'm wearing pregnancy underwear now at this point. But there he is. Like a very, very round belly. And ignore the little burn marks that I have on my stomach. I was cooking steak and accidentally splattered the oil through my shorts, through my leggings, and got a little burn. So I'm moisturizing that so that doesn't scar as well. But yeah, there he is, you guys. 30 weeks. Alright, you guys, well, that is going to wrap up my 29-week update. If you enjoy my pregnancy updates and you followed along this whole pregnancy, please leave me a comment. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe so you don't miss another one and you don't miss any of the videos gearing up for baby or my labor and delivery vlog. I'm hoping to possibly vlog that this time around. I didn't with Nathan and I'm kind of sad that I didn't, so I'm hoping to do it this time around. We'll see. I feel like with Nathan I was just like in a daze and I don't remember a lot of it, but this time around I really want to document it and have it to look back on. So stay tuned for all of that content and I will see you guys in next week's update. Bye guys!